Today we're going to make this Valentine's tea light to get us ready for Valentine's Day that's on the way. We're going to use 3mm basswood plywood. We're going to design it in Lightburn and cut it out with the XTOOL D1 Pro 40-watt diode laser. Welcome to the channel. I'm Dave. Now let's get right to it. We're going to start by grabbing a square. Hold down the shift key and just drag out a perfect square. Click your selector tool, make it a cut. We want this to be about 4 inches, so I'm in millimeters. Up top, make sure your lock is on, and let's make this 101.6 millimeters. Click away, and there you go. So we need a tab, top and bottom. So let's grab a rectangle and grab a square and draw out a rectangle. Click your selector tool, take your lock off. We want to make this a height of 3 and a width of 30. There we go. So we need to get another one of these. Control D to get a copy and just pull it out. Remember, you can scroll in and out with your mouse wheel. You can push down and move the entire canvas around. So select one of your tabs and get on the edge. Let me get in real close, and you can see your cursor changes, and you can grab that edge and then hold your Alt key down, and it'll give you the center position on that square, and you can snap it right to the square. And then you can just select and weld here, or you can go up to tools and weld here. Sometimes you'll have instances where you select, you weld, and you can still see this line. Well, something went wrong. So if that happens to you, just select your tab, pull it to the inside a little bit, select, and then weld, and you're okay. So once you get these set, we just need one top and bottom. We can grab this other tab and we can put it on it, or you can just select everything, Control D to copy, and then Shift Control V for a vertical flip. And then you have what looks like a mess, but you can grab the edge and snap it back into place like that. Select everything and then weld, and now you have exactly what you need. That looked messy, but it's actually pretty handy, so remember that. It would also work if you selected Control D if you needed them on the other side, and then flip with a I use the comma for that one, but you can use the comma to go counterclockwise. You can use the period to go clockwise. Okay, we're good. We'll get on with it. So we want to put our I love you in it. We're going to do that with a font. So click your text tool, and I will put this font in the description. It's a free font called Arco Typography. We're going to type all of these in this font are caps. So we got an I. Click your selector tool and then click again, because we want to be able to move these around if we need to. We're just doing you, not love. And then we're going to make a heart. So we'll make our own heart. Just grab a circle, hold shift, draw out a perfect circle like that. Click your selector tool, Control D to duplicate, and then move it over a little bit to what looks like a heart on top, like that. Then go to the hexagon, shift, draw out a perfect hexagon, click your selector tool, hold down the control key, and you'll get this little controller on top. Grab that and turn it into a triangle. And then we'll flip that around with the comma key. And you have to play with this a little bit to get it just right, but if you get in on it and you get this side set, or one side, and just set it where the where there's nothing showing on the edge, like that. You want to grab it and bring it to a point that there's no overhang. Something like that. And then you can grab this edge and just stretch it over to where it meets. Select everything together and then go to weld. And now you have a heart, and you can squash it up a little bit to make it look more like a heart. And we will make it smaller to go in here, because we want to cut this out so you can see the light coming through. Like that. And that should work. So we're going to do a perforation around the edges like you saw in the picture. So some light can come through that, and it'll look kind of like a letter. So now you can select all of this and group it together. And then we will draw another square. Just hold down the shift key, and we really just want to surround this, something like that. Click your selector tool, and we can resize this after we get our circles on it. We're just going to put some little circles. They're easier to work with. You can put dashes or whatever you need to make it look like a sewing line. Is what we're going for. So the first thing you want to do is select your square or circle or whatever shape you're working with. Right click, convert it to a path. Then you can select it and go to here where it shows you the start point. And if you click that, you can see that the start point is here, this little arrow. So what we want to do is get a tiny circle, something like that, just enough to show the light through. And we want to set it on that corner where the arrow was, right there. Now you want to select your circle, shift, select your square, and then go to arrange, copy along path. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so I had 4 presets, so it put one on each corner. But you can play with this and add more, but in the end, it won't look right if you don't have one on each corner. So just keep going. I think 24 worked out when I was messing around with it earlier. 24. There we go. Okay. So now you don't want this the line to cut out. You want the circles to cut out. So you want to select that line and make it a tool path. Okay, we want to add some slots to our side. So we're going to grab a copy of this tab, Control D. and just rotate it with the comma key or the period key. We want to make this a tool down at the bottom, T1 or T2. And we want it to be a width of 2 millimeters. Let me scroll in a little bit. We want to grab this edge, hold the Alt key, and just snap it right here. Just to make us a tool. So we can snap our slot up to it. Right in the corner right there. That's what we want. I got close. Just snap it to the bottom. Up here, we want it to go. That's fine right there. Our slot will go halfway. So we can control D on this. Just pull one out. And we can make it a cut. Go up top. Make it a width of 3. And if you're adjusting for kerf, you can make it a little less. But 3 should be fine because we're putting a top and a bottom on it to hold it in place. The bottom will fit tight. We'll adjust for kerf there. The top will make it easy to pop on and off as needed. Okay, so now we have a width of 3. And we want to grab the edge, hold Alt, and snap to our tool. Grab the top edge, hold Alt, and take it to the halfway point, which should be right there. Yep. Now we can grab both of these, group them together, Control D to copy, and then Control Shift H to do a horizontal flip. And then we can just pull out our whole setup and then grab the edge here, hold Alt, and snap it right to that corner. Now we need to flip one. So this will be the top. We'll group all this together. Then we'll Control D, pull it out, and then just flip it around. We want to set this on these, but first I think we'll replace the O with a heart. Let me scroll in a little bit. We need to select all of the lettering and ungroup, and then select U, right click, and convert to path. That way it makes these individual objects now. We can get rid of the O. We can duplicate, Control D, the heart, and we will straighten it back up a little bit, resize it, and set it right in here. Can hold that Alt key to get it in just the right spot. Okay, we can get rid of our O. We can group all of this together. Just select, hold your Alt key, and get it right in the center. It looks to be a good size. Control D, move one down, select it, hold the Alt key, put it right in the center. Then you can group these together. Select one and group, select the other and group. And we need 2 each of these, so you can select them both. Control D, and just move them out. And now we need a top and a bottom. So we know this is 101.6. So we're going to grab a square. Let me move this over here, or move it up. Hold your shift key and just drop out a square. Click the selector tool, go up top, make sure your lock is on. Make it 101.6 and click. So we're going to set our slots. We saved one up here. On the top, we're going to make them kind of loose. So this one is 3 millimeters, so this can be the top. It won't be adjusted for kerf. We're going to snap these all the way to the edge, and I'll show you why in just a second. We're going to leave that there. We're not going to lock it in place yet. Control D, get another one out. Hold the Alt key. Then we can select both of these, Shift and select. Control, we can group these together. Then Control D and flip with the period key. Then we want to select the outer edge. We want to go to the offset tool, and we want to do an outward corner, and we just want to make it 2 millimeters. Click OK. Now this inner line can be made a tool just so you know they're in place. Then we'll get us a copy of this. This is the top, so Control D to get us a bottom out. And then we're going to make some slight adjustments. And this will just give it a little overhang on the top and the bottom, and a place for your slots. So we will get rid of this one. We'll ungroup this one, and we'll do this part over again, starting with this one right here. We're going to turn the lock off, and the bottom will make 2.4, and that's just adjusting for the kerf on my laser. Of course, yours will be different, but you know what that is. Okay, Control D to get a copy. We'll bring it down to the bottom. Grab the edge, Alt, and just snap it to that tool line. With it selected, then we will Shift and select this other one. Group those together. Control D. Flip it. And now they're in place. Bottom, top. So we can group this together now. Group. And group. So, I believe that is it. I better put the top on the top or I'll forget which one is which. But I believe that does it, folks. Let me get set up in the laser. We'll cut this out and see what it looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, we're all framed up and ready to go. Again, we're using 3 millimeter basswood plywood. we'll send the code on over and cut this out. Okay, let me clean this up a little bit, put it together, and we'll get a closer look at it. So here's our finished tea light, and I think it turned out pretty good. Where we left a 2mm overhang, I think a 3mm would be better because this is a little flimsy. I could have broke it, I didn't, but it'd be better to do 3. Used a little glue. I didn't glue the top so I can change out the tea lights. Sanded it down with some 400 grit sandpaper. Let's turn this light off and you can see it with the tea lights. So yeah, looks pretty good. So if you'd give us a try and you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be glad to answer them or try to answer them. If you got questions about anything, just drop them in the comments. If you've got suggestions for topics or something you'd like to see me try to do, then I'll do my best to give it a try. So appreciate you folks watching. It has helped the channel grow. Hopefully we'll grow some more in 2025 and I can stay in the shop. This is where I like to be. So check back often for new videos. You folks take care and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.